The Rand Show has a proud 120-year history of providing top quality entertainment and activities for its visitors and gives everyone an opportunity to escape the ordinary. Now let's cross to Simphiwe Ngongwane, who is out at Nasrec this morning. Sims, a very good morning to you.
Very good morning to you, Lebs. You're quite right. They're over 120 years old, and it still continues to draw thousands and thousands of visitors annually. I'm talking about the Rand Easter Show. I spoke to the CEO earlier, and she says that they are expecting about 80,000 people to attend the 2023 edition of the Rand Easter Show. It's a market increase from all the previous years, and it's still a firm favorite for family because the Rand Easter Show is, an all-day program of fun shopping, outdoor activities, and basically a wonderland for all the little ones out there who are just basking in the glory of having so much fun with their peers here. And earlier on we took you some of the exhibitions, but I suppose the biggest exhibition here at the Rand Easter Show, which so many people have over the years questioned why the SANDF has such a huge military and imposing and intimidating presence, I would say. And I'm going to speak to the general in just a moment. And it's such a huge display of some of the military machinery here. We have the Caspers here by the Special Forces. And I asked the general what the Special Forces do. And he says that there's a difference between what the Special Forces do in terms of quelling violence in a particular area or in a particular. And as heard, these are just some of the displays by the SANDF military might. And the general told me that, the Special Forces are a specialized wing of the South African Defence Forces, which means that they don't necessarily have to do with quelling some of the violent scenes that we've seen during a strike action. And on my far right there, as you can see, is the Rooivalk. This is, this is such a huge military helicopter which is used to combat crime or any other violence incident. And I'm going to have a conversation right now with the SANDF Brigadier General Andries Mahapa, who is the SANDF spokesperson. General, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for inviting the SANDF. Thank you very much.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, I just want to talk about, the question that so many people have asked over the years as to why the SANDF has got such a huge military presence here at the Rand Easter Show. What is the role of the SANDF in this event?
To respond to that, I'll quote the chief of the SANDF, General Ruzani Mapyanya. He normally say the SANDF belongs to the people of South Africa. So we are here, we have brought the SANDF to the people of South Africa so that they can see the capability of the SANDF. And we'll also have a recruitment section so that the youngsters need to understand what is the SANDF all about. Because most people think SANDF is about carrying R4 or R5. When I was growing up, they'd say, you are dumb, you are naughty, you must go and join the Defence Force. But that has changed now. There's so many disciplines within the SANDF. What do you find in the public sector? You find within the SANDF. We have all profession within the SANDF. You are talking the engineers, you are talking the doctors, you are talking the pilots, you are talking the musician art, you are talking from Special Force, you are talking armory, all of them, all the discipline that you find within the corporate services, they are here within the SANDF. The youth can come, go to the recruitment section, find out the career within the SANDF, and they must join the SANDF so that they can feel that they are part of this organization in terms of serving the state. That was the SANDF all about. So we have brought SANDF to the people so that they can interact with us. They must not be far away, must not be afraid of the SANDF because we are the SANDF of the people in comparison to the pre-94 SADF. Now that's why there's a national, we are a national defense force, not just a defense force.
And speaking of discipline, and I've experienced firsthand how much army officers are quite disciplined. I mean, every turn you go, I saw the officers saluting you. They basically salute each other. So one may ask themselves, is it a must to salute each other, or is it simply, just a day-to-day activity?
I also salute my superiors.
Okay.
That's a hierarchy. That's how it goes. Yeah. I'm a Brig Gen. I salute Major General. I salute Lieutenant General. I salute the Chief of SANDF. Right. The colonel and below, they salute me. That's how it's supposed to be. That's a part of discipline within the SANDF.
Okay.
You don't have a choice. Yeah. You need to be discipline to be part of the SANDF.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier on that the misconception that people had previously or in years gone past is that when you are naughty, people think that when you're naughty, you need to go to the army to be disciplined. So what is the criteria, though? What is it that you look out for before recruiting? Is it physical considerations or mental considerations, or what is it exactly that you look out for before committing army officers?
Before we do that, you need to be a South African.
Okay.
And then you need to have your matric, they normally call APS score 19.
Yeah.
And then from there you can apply. Obviously, you need to be physically fit. And then once that is done, then they'll go for selective in terms of the paperwork administration, and then they'll call those members who qualify, and then they go for their basic military training. Not all of them who are going for basic military training qualify. Some along the way they fall out because of several factors. Maybe one is not fit enough to complete the basic military training, but majority of them do succeed in terms of completing the military training. But it's not easy, I must say. It's not easy. And the nice thing about it, the basic thing about it is to teach you discipline as a youth. That discipline is good because once you are a disciplined soldier or a disciplined community member, it will have an effect in your neighbor. Your neighbor will be also disciplined, looking at you, and then it will go from one neighbor to the next. Obviously, the whole community might be affected by one individual, That's why the SANDF is so important within the country.
And another misconception is that the SANDF is one department of government that doesn't do anything, because we don't have wars. We hardly have major incidents that cost lives and major destruction to property. Of course, the biggest one was the July unrest about a couple of years ago. And you said to me earlier on is that the SANDF is a department that is always in operation in terms of preparing for major wars. So what do you say to that? I mean, there's massive machinery here, and that particular Roy Falk, it looks fairly new, because one may think that it never has worked.
I'll put it in a context that will be easy to understand by everyone. A defense force is an insurance of the country. You cannot wait until your house gets on fire before you have a house insurance. So we need to make it a point that defense force, the people of the country, the territorial integrity of the South Africa is protected. That is the responsibility of the SANDF. We have two responsibilities. We have the primary one, which is to protect the territorial integrity. The secondary one, to protect the people of South Africa and support other government departments, like we did with COVID. We were on the street. Like we did with the unrest, we were on the street. We did also in KZN. We were there to assist during the disaster. There's a lot that we are doing as a defense force.
Okay.
Those who don't want to see, then they chose not to see it.
All right, General, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff. That was General Andries Mahapa, who is the spokesperson of the South African National Defence Force. They have the biggest stand here at the Rand Easter Show, and as we've heard, they just want to communicate a message that South Africa is safe in their hands.